Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us here today. I'm really excited to share with you some information on how to navigate the Career Expos. So for the next few minutes, we're just going to work through what you need to know about Career Expos here at Mercer University. Again, so happy to join you as one of your presenters for today, along with my colleague, Cindy Strobridge. For reference, I am the Assistant Director at the Center for Career and Professional Development, but one of my most beloved roles is I get to play Handshake Administrator, which means I work with this platform day in and day out. And so I'm going to show you today how you can get hyped about Handshake and learn about how to use this platform for your Career Expo preparation. Again, if you're unfamiliar with who we are and what we do, we are the office on campus that is situated to equip and empower all Mercerians to thrive in the lifelong process of career development. That means that we are going to help you from day one until graduation and beyond. We serve alumni for life. And so as you'll see in that second bullet point, our job is to prepare students and alumni to succeed in work and life. And so we do that through a series of customized, innovative, and comprehensive career resources like this webinar. And so with that, we're just going to jump right into what you need to do before, during, and after a Career Expo. So Mercer is very fortunate that we are able to host several expos during the academic year. We usually have some features in the fall semesters and in the spring semesters. Of course, next week, we have, at the time of this recording, next week, we have a Career Expo that will be happening on our Macon campus. So September 22nd, we will be hosting an on-campus, in-person Career Expo where students and alumni will have the opportunity to engage with employer recruiters who are coming to campus. So before the expo, what would you want to do before the Career Expo? Well, number one, you need to register for the expo. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But on that registration page, you're going to be able to learn about all of the employers that are coming, the types of opportunities that they're recruiting for, and just who you might meet at the expo. You want to make sure that you update your Handshake profile and research these companies. Handshake contains a little bit of information about each employer, but of course you can link out to their employer web pages and their career pages to learn more about who they are and what they're recruiting for. And you want to prepare your opening or elevator pitch. So just remember that before the Career Expo, preparation is key to your success. Wanted to remind everyone how to log into Handshake in case you have not logged into Handshake before. As a Mercer student, your account has already been created for you, and all you simply have to do is to go to mercer.joinhandshake.com. At that screen, you want to click on the blue Mercer student button, and it'll take you to a Mercer University logon page where you'll enter your MUID and associated password, just like you would on Canvas or My Mercer, and it will give you full access to the platform. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to navigate to a Career Expo and to learn more information about the event. So once you're logged in to Handshake, this is the home screen, and you want to click on events in your upper left-hand menu. And that is going to take you to all the events that Mercerians have access to. These events include things like our webinars, our Career Expos, and they also include employer-hosted events. So you'll see a great mix of events on this events page. Once you're on the events page, there's a number of different things you can do. You can use the filters that are up on the top menu bar of this page to navigate to just solely career fairs or things that are happening this week or this month. Or if you click on the All Filters button, it will give you a number of additional filters that you can choose to use. In this case, my screen, when I logged in, defaulted to showing me immediately the upcoming Career Expo. When you register for an event, so in order to get into an event, you would just click on the event and it'll open up a separate screen. But the really cool thing about registering for events in Handshake is that when you register for something, it prompts event reminders. So you'll get a 24-hour reminder and a 1-hour reminder to say, hey, don't forget, this event is coming up. We hope to see you there. So if you click into the in-person expo, you will gain the in-person information, including how to join the event. So you can register for the event using the blue Join Event button in the upper right-hand corner. And you can also use this page to see all of the employers, which is demonstrated by the blue button and yellow arrow, on the left-hand side of the screen. It's also on this page that we link out to our additional fall recruiting opportunities. We link out to how to seek information like preparing your documents or meeting with a career consultant. There's a lot of information on this page, as well as contact information for the event host. Once you click into view employers, there's a number of different things you can do. My key takeaway for any person in this webinar is that I want you, the very first time that you look at employers, I want you to look at all employers. Avoid the filters on the left-hand side of the screen and just take a scroll through all of the employers. It allows you to see who's coming, look at those names that you recognize, some of those names that you may not recognize, and just really get a good feel for who's coming. In order to see more about a company, you can click on the View Details button that's below each company, or the link that's below each company, and you can see more information. The reason why I tell people to avoid the filters at first is, of course, when you start filtering, you start eliminating companies. So, for example, we'll say that you are looking for a job opportunity. And so you immediately click on that filter on the left-hand side that says job. Well, we have some companies that provided that information to us. Some said jobs, some said internships, some might have said both. But what happens if you filter for jobs and we have companies who didn't provide that information? You are eliminating employers who potentially may be looking for candidates like you, but didn't narrow down the scope that they're looking for jobs or internships. So again, on first glance, always look at all of the companies first, and then start using those filters to help you narrow down your target set of employers. When you click on that more details link, this is the screen that will pop up. So I use the first company up at the top, Bluebird Corporation. And so you can immediately see that we get the bottom half of the screen that pops up that shows what types of jobs opportunities they are recruiting for, jobs and internships in the case of the job and internship fair that is coming up. What type of employment they're looking for, full-time, part-time, temporary, seasonal. If they have work authorization that's required to work at their company, what types of school years they are looking for. Are they looking to speak to just alumni or just seniors and juniors? Are they looking for a good mix of candidates? And if they have attached any jobs that they have in the system to this fair, you'll be able to see that. So in this case, Bluebird has attached a company job opportunity for an electrical engineering position. So again, I invite each one of you to be able to look through the detailed information about each company so that you can start to develop a plan for who you want to meet during the Career Expo. You can start making those details now. So we have a lot of information about the companies that are attending next week's Expo, and you can go ahead and start making your plan now. But one thing I do want to suggest to you is to continue to monitor this list. Employers will be changing the school years, changing the job types over the next week. And so they may not have initially been recruiting for internships, but maybe now they are. So you want to kind of keep on top of the employer information so that you have the most recent available information. So of course, in order to go to a Career Expo, I mentioned that you need to prepare your professional documents. And there's a number of different ways that you can do that. We do offer electronic reviews through our office. You can make an appointment with a career consultant. We also have lots of great resources on our webpage and on our YouTube channel. So you'll see even as recent as last week, we did a Hyped for Handshake resume clinic in order to prepare you for next week's Career Expo. So take an opportunity to view one of our resume workshops that have been posted on our YouTube channel. Look at those website resources, get started on that great document, and then use a career consultant to help you fine tune what that document looks like for the Career Expo. Well, of course, once you've prepared for the Expo, now we need to talk about what to do during the expo. The day of the event can be very exciting. It can also be very chaotic if you don't know what to expect. So my hope is that through a little bit of preparation, you will be prepared for the environment. So number one, during the Career Expo, you definitely want to make sure that you dress professionally in a manner that allows you to shine. A lot of students will say, well, do I have to wear X or do I have to wear Y? Is it going to be okay if I wear this? I want you to dress as professionally as possible in a manner that allows you to be comfortable and allows you to really demonstrate who you are and your professionalism for the workforce. I will add here that because this is a large scale indoor event, we will be requiring masks for students and employers in order to allow all of our recruiters and candidates to engage and communicate in a manner that is safe for all involved. So again, to eliminate one little worry that you might have. So again, because this is a large scale indoor event, we will be requiring masks for this in-person Career Expo. You want to make sure that you arrive on time, and that's going to be a little relative because this event goes on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Of course, you might be in class at 10 a.m., which means you can't arrive right at 10 a.m. But I want you to make sure that you give yourself time to navigate the expo. So if you have class at 10 a.m., no worries. Come at 11 when you can, come at noon, come at 1, but make sure that you give yourself adequate time in order to navigate the expo. There's going to be a lot of people moving around. There's going to be a lot of conversations happening, and there might even be multiple recruiters at the same table speaking to multiple candidates at the same time. You want to make sure that you focus on the conversation that you are having, trying to minimize the distractions that are around you, maintain eye contact, and of course, ask great questions of the recruiter that you are talking to. But the first thing, the very first thing that you're going to do when you arrive is you're going to get checked in. And so you'll see in our example here with Toby, Toby is checking in at one of our event kiosks. You are going to check in at our check-in desks with your MUID. So if this isn't something that you have memorized yet, make sure that you have it on hand. You will then make a name tag and you're going to receive a student program that has lots of information about the expo. So this is typically what our student guide looks like. It contains lots of great information like a networking guide, how to introduce yourself, how to close the conversation, questions that you might consider asking. Again, all things to help you, if you're a little nervous, navigate this process successfully. There will also be a list of recruiters and a list of recruiters not only by their recruitment needs. So again, those job interests, the full-time, part-time information, their majors, but then a specific breakdown by majors. So the information that's on the screen is from last year's event. And so this will be updated and this will be sent out to all students and alumni prior to the event. And then will also be available in paper format just before the, as you are checking. So again, this is something that you want to check out. But keep in mind, if you did all of your work before the expo, you have already researched these companies. You know exactly what they're looking for. This is just your paper guide to keep notes on and to hold on to the day of the event. However, I will say, we've already covered it. If you don't want a student guide, if you want to eliminate the paper, you can download the Handshake app. It's available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, but it will contain everything that is in that student guide is exactly on the Handshake app. It's on the web portal. It's everything that you already have access to right now. Some students on the day of the event really like having that paper to kind of guide them, to highlight, to make notes on, while other students like a much more electronic method. So again, use the method that works best for you, but know that Handshake does have an app for you to download that you can use to navigate the Career Expo. Of course, I mentioned it earlier in your preparation, but as soon as you approach a table, you've identified that company that you want to meet with, you've looked on the table locator guide, you see that they're at table 14, you approach table 14 and you start speaking with that recruiter. The first thing that's likely going to happen is you're going to deliver that elevator pitch. If you're not familiar with an elevator pitch, I usually say it's about a 30 to 60-second introduction, especially in this Career Expo type of environment where there's just a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, that allows you to introduce yourself, Never underestimate the power of clearly pronouncing and enunciating your name for the person you're speaking with. How many times have you received a resume or you've received an email or talking to someone, you see their name tag and you don't exactly know how to pronounce their name? This is the perfect opportunity for you to completely introduce yourself, give some information on your educational or employment background, let the recruiter know a little bit about your career aspirations and your current situation. What are you looking for? Always remember that this elevator pitch or this introduction, remember the purpose of the conversation. You are starting the conversation that you are hoping will encourage them to continue speaking with you. And so you wouldn't deliver the same introduction for a marketing position that you would likely deliver for that electrical engineering position we saw on the screen earlier. So you always want to make sure that you are fine tuning and honing that elevator pitch or that introduction of yourself to the person you're speaking to. If you're speaking to Bluebird that we showed on the screen earlier, if you're speaking to them and you have an interest in their internship opportunities, let them know that. Let them know what you're studying, why you're interested in interning with them, and what you want to learn about them. Don't forget that, preparation is key for this event. You really do want to develop an expo strategy. That's why we provide all of this information to you ahead of time. So you can identify maybe your target employers, maybe your secondary employers, or maybe even identify employers that you don't know anything about, but you want to learn more to see if maybe that they have something for you. I also say you want to be open to opportunity. We have a number of employers that recruit for all majors. And they really say, we see great value in a Mercer degree and a Mercer education. But to work for our company, you don't need a specific degree. We want to take that critical thinking, that liberal arts degree that you have received from Mercer, and we want to build upon that with company knowledge. So be open to those opportunities of those companies that are recruiting for all majors, or who you may not have identified as your target employer, but might be excellent for what you are looking to do in the future. Also, you want to bring something with you, whether it's that student guide or whether it's a Padfolio, paper and pencil. You want to bring something to take notes with. It's really easy to say, oh, I'm going to remember this conversation that I had with Waffle House. And I'll take notes when I get back to my room or my car, or my next class. Well, unfortunately, most likely you're going to talk to so many recruiters that you're going to forget all of the important things that they have spoke with you about. So you want to walk away from each table, jot down a few notes. I spoke with this person. They let me know about X, Y, and Z opportunity that's available on their web page. Go to their webpage later and apply for the blank job or blank internship. So again, make sure that you are taking notes, things to help you jog your memory and remind you what the steps you need to take after the expo. And when in doubt, relax and smile. We will have plenty of staff around during these expos that if you get a jittery moment, or you just need to process, or you have a question on, I don't know how to do this following step, come find one of us. We'll have our name tags on. We are there to help you navigate this expo so that you can be successful. So of course, what happens after the expo? A lot of times we just walk away and say, well, that was a great event. And if you don't develop a strategy for what comes next, you could miss out on some great opportunities. So first and foremost, when possible, if you grab someone's business card and you had a great conversation with them, send them a thank you email. Let them know that you really enjoyed the conversation, that you're really interested in applying for the opportunity that they spoke about. Make that connection with them. Many times these recruiters are jumping from career fair to career fair and then back at the office for a few days before they go to the next event. And so they may not remember that conversation with you by the time they get back to the office. But that email reminder that you send them that says thank you will remind them of your conversation and will allow them to reconnect with you and provide more resources for you that they may not have been able to provide to you during the expo. When possible, if you have a professional and polished LinkedIn profile, you want to connect with those recruiters if they are on the platform. Additionally, if you don't feel that you have a professional and polished LinkedIn, work with one of our career consultants so that we can demonstrate to you the power of that platform and why you would maybe want to consider using that platform in your job or internship search. If you had any recruiters that let you know that you needed to apply for opportunities on their webpage, you want to go ahead and follow up and do that. And then, of course, watch for future events. We host, again, a number of career expos each month. This semester, we are very fortunate that we are hosting both in-person and virtual events to meet all students and all Mercerians, including our recruiters, with their needs. If they need in-person recruitment, we can do that. If they need virtual recruitment, we can also do that. So watch for future events to help you connect with employers and with opportunities. Lastly, I would like to say as we wrap up, don't forget to connect to your future by connecting with us. We post career tips, event reminders, preparation tips, just a lot of really cool different things on our social media. And so join us on Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube channel, or our LinkedIn, and we will be happy to share this information with you.